number 1, number 3. Grass River, 3 R's. Grass River Railroad, why they didn't do G?
this. Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready to rumble?
Howdy, howdy, howdy. Yeah, here we go. Just like Joe was just now saying, holidays are a little light, kind of hit and miss, so we're not sure how many we'll have tonight. But see, we got start to finish coatings out there. How you doing? And we got Nathan and Joe here on the panel tonight. Ralph, once he realizes the show's going, he'll probably jump in. Won't see Andy until next week, though. And hopefully the show tonight's going to run okay. So far, it's been doing good, behaving. You never know, though.
Yeah.
My son was telling me that yesterday and today the internet's been cutting on and off here at the house. I told him, yeah, great.
That's all the kids with the new video games.
Yeah, yeah, really. And we just, I just upped the speed on this internet too, so they made me a deal I couldn't resist, really.
That's how they get you.
Hey, saved me a little bit of money over the year, so
Hmm.
I'm fine with that. I got next package up for just a $5 increase instead of a $30 increase. I figure why not increase my speed. So
I had the same thing for a, TV package and had a probably a net zero increase on that. So I complain about losing channels, and they're like, "Okay, we'll give you all these channels, same price as you're paying now." Okay, great, wonderful. I'll be your customer still. Not that I have a choice.
yeah, but you don't tell them that.
Right? Yeah. Yeah. Verizon isn't quite out here just yet, at least
Yeah,
in my area. So
uh,
my options are limited.
yeah. Let's see if I can't get my microphone a little bit higher. Because so far it's not giving me any kind of volume control. Now I've got it. All right. Let's see if anybody wanted to hear me talk anyway.
We got Sparky on.
Hey, yeah, we got Sparky there. How you doing, Sparky?
Big day from Canada.
Yeah. Yeah, today's Boxing Day.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know if that's the sport boxing or if it's the other one I heard about Boxing Day. That's where everybody's boxing everything back up to take back to the stores. So,
Or if you're
Somehow I
going
think
through your
there's a
boxcar
third
collection.
boxing in there.
yeah.
Or if you're going through your boxcar collection.
yeah. Sparky said, I always want to hear what the wise old man has to say. Wise in parentheses, the key word. Okay. All right, so last week was what did you ask for? Tonight is what did you get for Christmas?
For breakfast? Oh, Christmas.
I had donuts for breakfast, yeah, but
Nice.
yeah. Hmm. I didn't really get anything per se yet. It's usually more of an allowance for the future. We have a little train show that comes by here, usually second week of January,
Uh,
and so I'm afforded probably $100 or so to spend there and partake of all the spoils therein. So I got that going for me. Plus a
uh,
couple models I bought for myself, a couple weeks back.
Yeah.
I'm going to be working on throughout the year. So, hmm
What train show is that?
oh, it's is it a Greenbrier train show?
And well, not Edison. It will be further south in
No,
New
no,
Jersey,
no.
right?
It's one of those traveling little train shows. If you go to trainshow.com, it has all of them there. It's just like a small one that comes that goes to a bunch of towns. It's not like an official one or anything like that. I mean, I guess it's official in the sense that it happens, the same time every year, but it's really small. But there's a lot of people that go. They
That's
have a few local folks
yeah.
put
As
their
they
stuff
say,
there.
local hobby shops come in.
Yeah,
Well,
Yeah.
that's cool because I know like in Thanksgiving weekend they had the Greenberg show in Edison, New Jersey,
Greenberg, that's
and
right.
they always have one the second, third weekend in January somewhere else in New Jersey. They used to. I don't know if they still do. That's why I asked. I used to go there all the time when I lived in Staten Island.
hmm But yes, the Greenberg train show on the 18th and I guess 19th. Yeah,
That's about right.
that's down
I
here in
miss.
Richmond.
We have one Northwest Arkansas region. I think Bentonville is where they're gonna have the next one, but that's in the summer. It's like one a year.
Mm,
Of course, if you want to go to like the major ones, you have to drive up to Kansas City.
right.
So don't exactly have time to just drive four hours up there one way. So, but I would like to get a table for my business out in Bentonville because I'm trying to hook up with model railroaders out in this Arkansas region.
hmm
So
Yeah.
I'll be forming a Facebook group. Just try to find people to connect with eventually. I think that'd be a cool idea. Maybe start a charter or something like that. Do tours of layouts in the area or up to Kansas City. I think that'd be a cool idea to get put Tulsa on the map in the Northwest Arkansas region with the because you have the Arkansas Missouri Railroad, you have Union Pacific, the NSF, Kansas City Southern, all roll through this region. So there's a lot of railroading. So it would be cool to do that.
hmm
Yeah. Let's see. John 2618. How you doing? He said they got an RPM meet coming up in a couple weeks down in Florida. He said he's looking forward to that. Sparky said pretty much all he's got around him are mom and pops selling stuff out of the attic. LOL. He said about Repeato's the only one that shows up at the Toronto show.
And that's not a bad idea. Sometimes you get your best deals with stuff like that.
hmm
Sometimes they don't know how much stuff is worth and
Yeah.
they'll have stuff for you dirt cheap, or you can at least negotiate the price.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's see. We got Dwight just jumped in. So did Possum Bayou. How y'all doing? Hope you had a good Christmas. Yeah, Possum said he usually has to order online. Yeah.
eBay's my best friend, and also my demon.
Yeah.
Hey Joe, you find that you have good luck with like best offers and things like that on eBay?
Yes, best offers, and I look for collections. I usually look for a bundle. So, for instance, I lucked out. I mean, received two of these.
hmm
I do weathering, so I can weather them, upgrade them. I look for stuff to upgrade. So I got these two for $2.
Nice.
So I stuff like that. Walthers, those 33,000 gallon tank cars. Yeah, some parts are broken, but easily could be glued. But I got three for 20. So I look for those kind of deals. I just got a let's see here. So I was trying to build a ballast train for my fictional railroad, and so for these Delaware and Hudsons, they're like life like Bachmans, but upgrade with wheels and weather them and re-decal them. I got four of these for 20, so they're $5 each.
Hmm.
So and the the one thing that kills with eBay is the shipping, always.
It can, yeah.
I put an offer on a couple of dummy units. I actually have them up here, some blue box. So I like to. My layout is not going to be big, and even if I had a big club layout, there's no need to have 6 power locomotives, in my opinion. So two or three is probably a max, but if you want to look like you have 4 or 5, a couple of dummy units, weathered and repainted and whatever you want, you know, you get that illusion that looks like 5 power locomotives are on it.
Mm-hmm.
So I have a lot of undecorated locomotives for me to practice with, and once I paint them, one's getting in Norfolk Southern, one's getting a Conrail. So once they're all painted, decaled, and weathered, and they look like just part of the fleet. So, and those were $5, $7. No one wants dummy units anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't mind taking them.
Yeah, Jerry Ashley just popped in. He said, "Merry Christmas a day late."
The whole Christmas season, in my book.
Mm-hmm. I mean, Christmas happened on a Wednesday. It's essentially Christmas week. That's the way I see it.
Yeah, we start last Saturday. We'll go all the way. Like a month for my family.
Nice. You're not one of those that start right after Halloween decorating all that mess, are you?
My family in New York does, just because they get super busy.
Okay.
I have family who works at NYPD, so they get very slammed when it comes to the holiday season with extra security and everything with the city going on in Manhattan, or all the, just all the tourists and stuff. But they do it because the weather's warm to do stuff outside by that point. It's not like 15 degrees like it is now, or, so it's easier to do it right then and there, just get it done and over with and have it up.
15, yeah, it was in the mid-50s today here. It was ridiculous.
Yeah, we hit about 61.
I went outside just to hang outside.
Although yesterday I was able to get out and do some spray painting, so that was nice.
Nice.
Used Ralph's trick of warming the can a little bit to make it spray easier.
Yeah, we're
It's been all right, I suppose, but probably needs to be a little warmer for it to get the true effect.
Well, as long as you got everything warmed up before you go out, and then go out, just hit it then, and then come back in, you should be good.
Yeah.
What you done is just getting it to where it'll atomize the paint a lot better, warming it up.
Problem is getting it in and having that smell permeate the house. Kind of have to keep that down.
Yeah.
Jerry Ashley said it's 68 degrees in Chicago. That's unheard of this time of year.
Wow. Yeah. Possum says 70 degrees.
Usually it's like a foot of snow, like below 20.
Yeah, and Sparky said he's going to be doing bench work tomorrow.
Nice.
CPR Train, yeah, he just popped in. Happy holidays, guys. Christmas is a great time to connect with friends and family. I hope that Santa was good to everyone. Yeah. I got a good night's sleep. That's about it.
Well, that's good. You'll need that. I went to a midnight mass. My girlfriend and her son, they were up wrapping presents and all that stuff. And I come back 2 a.m. and they're still up. I go, I think you guys are sleeping. They're there playing with Alexa. They're just having a ball playing with the Alexa machine.
Yeah. Yeah, hopefully things will start getting settled down here. But John has really got DTs about me not being over there to help him out.
So what does the schedule look like for next year? We do the same kind of shows, or are you gonna have it's gonna be spaced out more?
Uh, right now in January it's going to be spaced out because we're working on some stuff to come out first part of the year here. So, but first 2 weeks of January, all we got's the Thursday show. Andy's show won't come back till the 14th of January. That's the third week. Yeah, week and a half. Because first is on a Wednesday.
Nice.
Big Bill goes, no, new and improved. Okay, we're going to be new and improved.
Awesome. That's what I like to hear.
Wow. Start to finish coating said minus 33 where he's at. Jeez. No, you said you changed it to 033. Yeah, Big Bill's got a show that he's working on. Besides the Who's Big Bill Talking To, he's doing something a little different there. Everybody should be pretty interested in. Yeah.
Is he going to give us the news later on?
Nope.
Oh, that was a surprise.
No. We'll let you know when the show's going to start.
Nice.
Yeah, he's still trying to get the space station to simulcast from space.
I can see him in a NASA outfit. Spin a locomotive in the air.
Yeah.
Gravity.
They were doing that decoder chip, and they kind of lost that one, so they got to wait on another supply shuttle for him to send them another one.
How to model N scale in outer space. So with those dummy units, I'm gonna pull up two of the photos that I'm working on. One's a U-30C, and it was a Norfolk Western, original number 8000, and it was repainted into Norfolk Southern number 8000. And the reason why I'm doing that is that came out in 1990, July 1990. And that was the year where I celebrated my dad's birthday, my first year. I was born in 89, so I wanted to do locomotives because he introduced me to rail planning and model railroading. But I want to pull up the photos first before I share them. But it'll be cool because they're dummy units. Let's see here, so go here. Share. Everybody seeing this. So that's one project.
Oh, okay.
And this is what it originally was. I thought about making it Norfolk Western. I don't have, but I modeled the 90s, and that's when they had a lot of the U-30Cs repainted for the merger. So that was pretty cool. I modeled New England Conrail from 89 to 1998, basically the end of the Conrail era for it being a Class 1. So that's that. And I have, let's see, the other one, if I can find it. I have the B-23-7, and now globally 1999. Because that was the year officially when the merger happened. It was 98.99. So it would be pretty cool to build those two for. It's just historical purposes. 'Cause I even have an SPSF box car. I only made one in that red and yellow paint. So
Yeah.
it's just cool to have. So it's a conversation starter for me. And I know Sparky's a big Conrail fan, so I'll be having videos of me making that on YouTube. But also received these for Christmas. The more Conrail box cars.
Yeah.
So, I don't have
Well,
that many Conrail box cars.
yeah.
But I have everything else.
Well, are you? His comment was U30Cs must have been getting rare by the 1990. He would imagine.
Yes. Yes, that's why I modeled the tail end. And the U30Cs, NS was still using them. So, and actually, there's pictures of the locomotive running Longwood forward.
Yeah, he said also, don't forget the ugly duckling, BQ 23-7.
Ooh, I know. Those things are nice.
What about the B23-7s?
That's the B23 right here.
Yeah.
It's all wrapped up. That's gonna be Conrail 1999. And but yeah, these because Nathan talked about deals on eBay, so these are some of the deals I found. It's usually I'm laying in bed right before I fall asleep is when I look at stuff. But that's the U30C. That'll be NS 8000.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Let's see here. It looks like Sparky and Big Bill talking about bench work.
Yeah.
So that one. Yeah, the legs I used were 1x1. They're I'm sorry, 2x2 for when they build my modules. Very light and they're much cheaper. Yeah, they bend when they look a lot. They're more warped when you get them at Home Depot and stuff. So it becomes a pain in the neck when you have to search for the right one that's not warped. But those are the ones I've used for my layout. And here, this room is pretty old, so I'm not sure if I'm going to use shelving brackets, but I might use shelving brackets and legs just to hold them together, a little more sturdy. But I have a whole open section over here that's going to be all modular with a lift that section.
Yeah.
So it's going by what Sparky was saying about what he uses. I also use 2x2s for legs, and they worked well for me. Half-inch plywood, and either in a 1-inch foam. 2-inch foam is good because you can, if you want to, instead of having a grade, if you want to have an underpass, or you're building if the track's on overpass, you have a road underneath, or culverts, or what do you call it? I forgot what the other thing was. Oh, just like a creek or a little bridge or something. You could carve out that 2-inch foam, even though it's pretty low, and then cut out the wood and drop it a little bit, so you have what do you call it? A little bit of a I don't know the terms for it, but instead of building upwards, you build below.
Yeah. Build down.
Yeah. You see that comment about the foam?
Yeah, foam used to be cheap until my railroaders started using it. Yeah.
Everybody, pink foam is expensive. I think it's like $50 for a 4x8 sheet of 2-inch. I've seen $40 to $50. It depends I guess where you buy where the taxes, including taxes.
Yeah, around here, if you can find it, it's $30 a sheet for
Yeah,
2-inch thick, 4x8.
it's $42 in Tennessee.
They're getting away from it anyway. It was used in construction, so they're kind of getting away from that.
Right. About $30. Yeah, they're about 30. I've seen them. I've seen there. Even you use the blue one, the green one, if it's cheaper. The layout I'm building, it's mostly industry, so and I build the scenery upward, not downward. If I want to creek or something. But if I decide to do that, then all you need is just to cut that. If you have a shelf, you just cut the wood, and so you have this, and just build below, like a little box, and you could build a little stream or something out of that on the bottom, without spending so much money on foam.
Yeah.
I know people who will build like like 2 sheets and make it 4 inches high. Unless you have the money, I think that's absolutely ridiculous.
Well,
Even then, it's probably cheaper to get homo soap.
that's what we did out at the store. We were using all 2-inch foam. Some places we got 6 inches. Guys, a folded dog bone anyway, so half of it's on the main level, the other half went up the incline to the upper level, so yeah, one part crossed over.
If you always give the illusion, if it's cheaper, do it. That's always been my philosophy.
Yeah. Well, hobby shop was buying it anyway, so you know.
Right. Yeah, well, it's just like building buildings. Everybody used to use just styrene. Now you can use anything, cardstock, and you can find stuff at Walmart for $5. You can build the whole building for $10.
Yeah.
When you're on a budget, it's amazing how your mind can be creative to work with what you have, especially what you can afford, and with the space you have. It all has to do with everything.
Yeah, well, you know, you go to a Dollar General store, pick up those for sale signs and do not park here signs, stuff like that. They're real thin and flimsy, but they do great for doing mock-ups.
Yeah.
You know?
I have a whole bag of popsicle sticks. Don't know when. I think I used them. I got them for $1 when I was working with O Scale. I built wooden river crossings, put over the track, and then stain them and painted and weather them.
Yeah, Jerry said he hates the little balls with the white stuff.
Oh, that's the worst. Even this stuff is great for scenery work. You could build your cardboard strips like a grid. You can put newspaper inside, and you could cover it with this stuff, which is just cardboard paper. If you have it lay around the house, and just staple it to the cardboard skeleton of whatever mountain you're building, and then you either plastic cloth, and then plastic cloth, dirt cheap for 50 cents at Walmart. You can get paper towels, and then plaster, and then paper mache your mountain.
Yeah. Well, DW Cobb, 43. How you doing, bud? He's out in California. He said he bought the pink foam in the 2x2 pieces for about $5 each. Yeah, that's a good buy out there. $5. Well, about time you get here, Jason. Jeez. I'm going to have to lay you out for another week for being late.
Deduct your pay.
Yeah.
He's already paying us.
Yeah, well, You missed the excitement Monday night.
What?
Me trying to figure out how to hook up my Sprog to the computer. Luckily, Tim helped me.
So it took y'all this much time to get the computer turned back on so you get in here, huh?
No, it was Monday night.
Yeah.
JRMI, right?
Huh?
You finished getting your JRMI?
JMRI loaded and all
JMRI.
that. Yep.
Yeah.
I programmed 2 engines since then.
Was it exciting to use finally?
Yeah.
That's if I figured it out good.
I figured it out and all that. I talked to a gentleman over at the hobby shop today. He told me some tricks too.
Jeez. All right,
With buffering. Well, I'm buffering.
Yeah, Jason come in and started buffering.
Yeah, I know. It was buffering over at on YouTube when I started coming in.
Yeah. Even Twitch is buffering now. Of course, my OBS is not doing good. It's struggling real bad.
Before, I was really shocked that it wasn't buffering before because all the kids are off in school and everybody's on their phones and computers.
Yeah.
Everybody's playing PCC, you know.
I guess now they're jumping on because it's 9:30 here.
Yeah.
Santa was good to me.
Nice.
Got yourself soldering iron.
Yeah. I'm going to be learning how to solder and all that stuff now.
My partner is pretty awesome. She got me all paintbrushes and paint trays.
Oh, yeah. There's something else I got, too. One of these.
Ashtray?
Yeah. A lot of the like rust buckets and all that, they use these for their paintbrushes.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Put the paintbrushes in there. Either they'll have like water in here or they'll do the paint.
Yeah.
In there.
Oh, okay. Never seen that.
So my partner, he gave me some beautiful high-end artisan shop paintbrushes, basically for like watercolor, but they're fine, thin. I mean, super thin. And the great part of these is look at the end. So it's fat at the end for your fingers. Mm-hmm. So my hands shake when I'm trying to get really down.
Oh yeah.
And soldering, my hands just shake, and you know that's oh my gosh, it's perfect. And that's why a lot of times my handwriting is atrocious now because my hands shake when I'm trying to write.
Yeah.
Cool Tropolis, he just popped in. Marty had a good idea here. He said elections are a good source of boards with all the candidates' signs around the place. All right, well, I guess we're going to have to go through the last half of the show with the buffering. I can't seem to...
It's not, I have it here on my phone. It's not too bad.
Oh, I've got Twitch buffering all over the place.
Oh, really?
Yeah. In fact, Twitch is lagging real bad. Okay, it's just now showing Jason show the soldering iron.
The same with YouTube.
Actually, I like to share something to talk about. This is by the way, this is after Blue Box dummy units, but my girlfriend's grandfather passed away the weekend after I moved up here, and he collects National Geographic magazines. So we decided this year to wrap all our presents in National Geographics, all of his National Geographic. So I was looking at this. I'm like, I was trying to show everybody it's after the blue box. And I totally forgot we wrapped this in his National Geographics. So it actually looks nice, a lot better. Like this, I won't get rid of the boxes.
Yeah, but it depends. Those National Geographics, old ones, they're worth some money.
Yeah, we do have. Oh, he has tons and tons.
Yeah.
My grandfather collects them too. He still has it all boxed up everywhere in Brooklyn. Pretty soon those will be national treasures.
Yeah.
Yeah, 'cause I don't know exactly when National Geographic really started, but I know we got some down at our Atlanta house that should be pretty close to the beginning of National Geographic.
Still to this day, in the late '80s, National Geographic came out with that documentary, "Love Those Trains."
Yeah.
Anybody to watch? It's on YouTube. The whole thing is still on YouTube, I believe. It should still be on YouTube. Check it out. It's pretty fascinating to watch that now, because the technology then was intermodal was just popping, and Santa Fe got out of their hole because of intermodal. And wait, hold on. This is important. Jason's got an awesome locomotive on the table. Go ahead, Jason.
I'm waiting for GMRI to
Oh,
load
but
up.
yeah, it shows when the excursions for the nickel plate came out. Just was coming out. Norfolk and Western 611. That's when NS had their program in the '80s, the steam program in the '80s. The what was the other one? The Orient Express was the other one. So it's if anybody gets a chance after this program, if you have time, go there and watch it. It's pretty cool. It should still be on YouTube. That's Geographic. They talk about the hobos and the hobo parades they have, I think, in Kansas or Oklahoma. Pretty interesting to see the history of the railroads back in the late '80s into the '90s.
Yeah.
And they follow the Southern Pacific all the way to Canada. So they go from California, and you follow all the railroads and all the yards it goes through all the way to the Bronx in New York.
Is that the newest Sprague you hooked up, Jason?
Sprague 3?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what, 3 amp or 5 amp?
5.
After?
Yes.
Nice.
Genesis.
Genesis, yeah. Smooth runner.
Yeah. Program this one and my veterans.
Nice.
You know.
You speed matched both of them?
No, I did not. I haven't ran them together.
Yeah, they did a really nice job on those engines.
Oh yeah, they did. Love the detail to it.
I know Chris Palmeras was very excited about it. He just couldn't say anything yet, but he was super stoked about it.
Yeah.
You know, and yeah,
These have running lights too.
Oh, really?
Yeah. There's a light right under here. And I think there's another one down in there somewhere.
Wow.
Yeah, it's right there at the wheels, isn't it?
Yeah.
All right, maybe buffering stopped. Everything went back green on me again. Hopefully.
Headlights are bright. Deadlights are bright.
Yeah.
That's like the Bachman
Yeah, it's a.
Color Heritage I bought a few months ago, and I didn't realize how bright the headlights and disc lights were. For the Bachman and the DCC disc lights and sound, really nice engine.
Yeah.
It is the only modern engine I have. It's only S44 I own. Everything I own is 90s. And that's what's cool about Active Genesis. That is that they're pretty loud right out of the box, and they're beefy.
Yeah.
I have an Active Genesis SD70 Conrail, and my gosh, it makes you ear like the decibels are so loud that I have to show off the sound because it drives me crazy. And I love sound locomotives.
All right, now that you got JMRI loaded up, what are you going to do with it?
Program. Not with this one. I'm done programming for time being.
What'd you program on it?
I just got a program address, and I've been looking at the speed table and trying to see if I can get it to be pretty close to some of my other engines.
Yeah. Yeah, Bill said best train movie, King of the North, Lee Marvin and Ernest Borgnine.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I heard that movie. I never watched it before. I'm sorry. I might have to watch it while I'm working on stuff. Actually, I gotta go for another surgery next week, so I'll be out of commission for like 2 weeks again. So I'll be loading up on movies I need to watch. So I'm adding that to my list.
Storage shelves, you got that track on, isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah.
I like it.
It is sturdy enough for me right now, but
Well, yeah, it's just one track. That's that, Cato unit track anyway.
It is. No, it ain't. It's Bachman. Easy track.
Easy track, yeah. Same thing.
Yeah.
And speaking of movies, for Big Bill, but anybody, this is a great movie. Oh, I got glare. My bad. This is a great movie right here. Well, End of the Line. Basically, it's about two guys in Clifford, Arkansas, who they run a small rail yard. They call it a shop. And small town, the whole town depends on that little shop that's ran by a short line called the Southland Railroad. And then the whole Southland company goes to air freight. And so they steal a locomotive and they take it up from Arkansas up to Chicago to try to get their jobs back. So it's pretty funny. Cops are chasing them and everything. But it's Wilford Brimley, Kevin Bacon, Levon Helm.
Yeah, well, like they say, if you got bacon with it, it's got to be good.
Oh, it's like Bacon's a young cat. You can see what it looks like a young cat in this movie. Came out in 80. Oh, geez, I forgot it. Definitely late 80s.
Never mind bacon. You have Wilford Brimley in it. Come on.
Yeah, Wilford Brimley's the brakeman, and Levon Helm is a hogger. But Wilford Brimley, they both are engineers on the train, and hard to see, but that's a locomotive. They shoot up with shotgun because they get drunk. It's a great movie. The trailer is on YouTube.
Nathan.
Yeah.
Chong. Right over his head when I said that.
Mm.
Everything's better with bacon.
Mm-hmm.
Amen.
Bacon's a condiment, you know.
Didn't know that.
We just made him. Oh, talk about Christmas gifts. I finally received. I ain't opening yet. I'm gonna open it on maybe tomorrow, Saturday. But I received my calendar from the Arkansas Missouri Railroad. I have 2 of my photos in the calendar.
Really? That's good.
So I ain't opened it up yet. I'm gonna wait for that.
Why are you gonna wait?
I was gonna wait for my girlfriend and son.
Oh.
Got to open it up yesterday. That was part of the plan.
Yeah.
But we'll also celebrate Christmas on the weekend too with her family. So I'll open up then.
How you doing, Chris? Your microphone's muted. There you
was
go.
trying to get all the windows straight before I got a reverb.
Yes, Bill, I did get the last installment. Yeah, talking about trains. Somebody up here said, yeah, you run naked for, why you run naked for? Runaway Train was a good train movie, too.
Yeah.
The barn full of trains. He just popped in. Jim Watson just popped in.
Even Unstoppable was a good movie too.
Silver Streak.
Silver Streak. I forgot about that one.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Yeah, that's
Has anybody
more.
saw Disaster on the Coastliner? That's in the 80s.
Mm-mm.
That is about an ex-employee of Amtrak who, I believe he got in trouble for colliding with a train or hurting somebody on the train, and he was technically innocent, but he was accused and he lost his job, and so he takes revenge on Amtrak. He goes on the same line trying to basically train jacks the whole train and takes over and tries a head-on collision with another Amtrak train.
Yeah, Chris,
so,
you need to mute.
And so basically it's about the police are trying to stop him. He's ran by helicopters, and they decide to the Amtrak employees, track gang tries to cut the main line, build a switch, and try to switch the trains over that will collide into each other. It's actually pretty heart pumping movie. It can put you on the edge of your seat.
Yeah.
And they do a lot of it's just a good movie. And the main guy who saves it, he's a con artist. He's escaping from the police. Ironically.
Yeah. Yeah, Marty's being funny. He said Thomas the Train meets Godzilla was a good one.
Cinders and ashes. We can't forget Under Siege 2, right? I mean, that can be a train movie, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that what the two trains collide on the bridge?
I think so, yeah. And he like jumps off at the very end or something like that. It's been a long time since I've seen that movie. Usually when it's on like TV, on like Fox or some nonsense like that. But
Right.
yeah.
They had a movie. Remember movie Magic? That show.
Oh yeah, that was my jam back in the day.
That was a great show. They actually had Under Siege, and it showed how they collide the train together. And the models are like this big, almost like live steamers,
Mm-hmm.
painted and everything. And they crashed it like 20 times to get it exactly the way they wanted it to look like. Actually, they're both were model trains.
Yeah, Big Bill just corrected. He said it's called The Empire of the North. That was the name of the movie. Lee
Empire of the
Marvin
North.
and Borgnine.
Mm.
I think there was those old timer movies too, real old classic train movies. I'm trying to record the old '97. Is that one of them? Something like that. It's been a while. Is it one like a circus train that collided or derailed and they're stuck and stranded somewhere? I'm trying to remember. It's been a long time. This is back in the part of the '50s. Those movies came out. I would assume that back in those days, the most exciting train movies were part of the John Wayne films. Where they had a train in it. What was Chris working on? It sounded like he was sanding.
Yeah, he was.
The Monster House.
Nice. His mic is off. I don't know if he.
Yeah, he knows. He knows.
Okay.
Yeah, I got a Monster House for Christmas. So then we did some digging, and then they also have a photo edge kit for it. So I went and bought that. So it comes with the iron for the top of the fence and the rod iron for across the gate, better weather vane, and I think aerial antenna and a couple other little parts and pieces for the house.
Nice.
Oh, so you're going to combine the two?
Yeah, I'm going to take the photo etch detail kit for it and then put it in place. Because they got a weather vane and the TV antenna, but it's that fat plastic stuff to where the photo etch will be a much better detailed piece.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then I did some more looking, and I found out that they got like because this is actually HO scale. They have the Bates Motel and the Addams Family House. So I thought about getting all three of them and making like a little haunted hollow just for fun or whatever, seeing if people actually even notice the house.
Yeah.
So
That's awesome. I always loved the Monsters house. That was nice.
yeah, that's what this is. It's a crazy house. It's a tower. You know, I mean, I didn't ever look at the house. I mean, when I was a kid, I remember watching the show, but it's a tower. It's a barn, right? And then it's a wing. It's the craziest thing. I mean, and this is actually a real house out in California. You know, and I went looking for the real colors of it, and it has a red it's a red brick raised foundation. So, and then the house itself is off white and it has white trim, and then it just needs a and then brown shingled roof. So I'm gonna
Huh.
paint it up like it is, and weather it really heavy, and then I have a graveyard scene that I'm putting together. I have a old dead oak tree that I made and a couple of gravestones and stuff. So I'm gonna put this next to the graveyard when that gets built.
Yeah.
So either that or I'll make it the town mortician's house or the funeral home or something like that.
That's awesome. Oh, there we go. Yes, Jimmy Stewart, Ringling Brothers. That's the movie. That's a good movie too. Someone mentioned Super Train, the TV series. I never saw that.
Mm-mm.
The Monster House.
Yeah, there's a website a guy runs. It's called Cult TV Man, and that's all he does is deal with like models for like Star Trek and that kind of stuff. TV sci-fi stuff. So
That's cool.
yeah, that's where I found the photo etch kit. And then they actually make a resin kit and a lighting kit for it because it came with. Hang on, let me go grab them. It came with window dressings. They're not see through, but they are transparent to where they make actually like a lighting kit. They want like $60 for it, so I don't know what the lighting kit does. But those are for the windows, and this they got little itty bitty pinholes, and every window has little studs for them to stick on, so you just put them on there. So I'm doing the painting first, and then I'm going to spray the inside of the house black because you won't be able to you won't be able to see in through these, but it'll keep the light that I have inside to shine through these from shining through the plastic because this plastic, and you hold it up to a light and you can see through it really well. So
Yeah.
You know what would really be cool, Chris? If there's a way you can make the light move from window to window very slowly or fade in and out, or it have two lights that fade in and out.
yeah,
And
well,
get
I'm
it looks like a
actually
ghost.
yeah. Well, the photo etch kit comes with two-dimensional silhouettes of the characters as well. So you can stick those to cast a shadow in there. And I thought about actually putting a little motor in it and putting it on a wheel to where you get a character to walk like around through a couple of windows like really slow.
Nice.
But that's later on down the road. I have a couple other things I need to do. I should be laying track right now, but I got this for Christmas, and this was kind of exciting and fun. So
That's
the
great.
track the track laying got put off to the side until the weekend, and I'll do this for a couple hours in the evening.
Yeah, Adrian said just use Arduino to have separate lighting effects.
Yep.
Sound effects, all that stuff. That'd be great. A little
Yeah.
fog.
Arduino's not too good for sound effects.
And then you can have Ghost Adventures come in.
Yeah.
Raspberry Pi would
Yeah.
be better for that.
Yeah. I'm hoping in the long run there'll actually be little motion detectors along the fascia. That way, it switches sounds on and off. Because like when you're on one side of the layout, you don't need to hear the waterfall that's on the other side of the layout.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna try and make it kind of a little interactive, you know, with motion sensors to play the sounds for where you're standing, not for the whole thing.
That'd be
And
great.
then have speakers, in the right area accordingly, so the sound comes from the right place. So
And that's the difference with a lot of the scales. O scale, they have all that sound effects and light effects, smoke effects, and HO you don't really have much of it. You have to be very creative, and which
Yeah.
is great, but not everybody limits to just O scale. You can do it any scale, all that
Yeah.
stuff.
See, well, this layout itself, because this is my room that the layout is. Basically, half of the room is layout, half of the room is workshop for the layout or said hobbies. My computer sits underneath the layout, and it's a beast of a machine because I game. So it's going to be the brains for the whole layout.
Nice.
I'm not going to be working off of pies and stuff like that. Everything's going to be all running on one big powerhouse machine to deal with everything, even if I have to, set up a number of USB hubs to make it all go. I mean, I'll add in pies if necessary or whatever, but the actual thinking and brains of it are going to be controlled by that. So lighting, I'll try and get a fast clock on it. Friend of mine's trying to talk me into actually do the lighting, kind of like east to west. Make a brighter spot in it as the clock goes across. And I'm like, I think you're thinking way too hard into it.
Yeah.
There's the O scaler that does that. He made his layout completely storms. He has wind machines.
Yeah, I got a wind machine because you can't see it, but there it is. There's the fan right there. See, we got a wind machine.
Yeah, we got strobe light audio. How you doing? I don't know if you've been in here before. Anyone use Ring Engineer instead of DCC for control? Don't know, but you might come back in a week or two when Andy and Ralph are here and ask them about that. They may know something about it. Be honest about it, I'd never heard of that.
Yeah. LED strips too. I was thinking about that's what I like about the LED strips is that you can have different light for certain times of the day. So if your layout starts at dawn, you can have an orange yellow glow.
Yep, I got to set RGBs up. I can make it nighttime. I can make it stormy green. I can make it a sunset, whatever. So, but I'm redoing the lighting because I got these little aluminum housings that are going to fit up into the groove of the ceiling. Hang on, let me set this down because the ceiling, see, it's all bordered. It's in a work in progress, but it's a little half-inch track that fits around that. So you can't see the aluminum once the white cover goes in, so it'll disappear into the ceiling, and then I'll just have big glowing squares above it mixed with spotlighting. And then there's also got a set of RGBs and stuff because the ones that are hanging right now are gonna go away.
Awesome.
So.
That's my girlfriend and I. We're photographers, professional photographers. So when it comes to the layout, lighting has to be very important because she wants to really document the layout for just photography purposes and stuff like that. And I told her, I said, well, the layout's going to be up the windowsill right here. It's going to be right over here, and so right in the middle where the window is, that's where the layout's going to be. It's going to go around. So I'll have track lighting right above because we have beams going across in the ceiling. You can tell. Same thing up there. So I have a couple of track lights, just maybe two of them, one for one section, one for the other section, and position them in certain areas because lighting is one of the most important things. If you have a beautiful layout without lighting, you're done for. It's all.
Yeah, because you need shadows.
Yes. And there's actually a video, and I have it. He has the Delaware and Hudson layout. Find it for everybody right here. I don't know if I'm Are we allowed to post any links to YouTube videos in the chat, Johnny?
Yeah.
Okay, because I know sometimes not allowed. It's the it's. Let me pause.
Yeah, 'cause we got a couple of new people just joined in with us here. We got, where'd you go? Oh, by the way, Brad, since you came in late, Marty said he's already gone to lunch, and since you're late, you're buying lunch. Let's see. Let me get back up here, boy. I'm getting scrolled on like crazy here. All right, Strobe Light Audio. He's new. He just popped in. Nick. Jacob. Looks like he's new. And Mike. Now let me get back up here and read some of this stuff and see. Let's see. Mike is asking, getting into mall trains. Any recommendations? Start small. Let it work up. Start on 4x8 or a short shelf layout. Don't get too crazy with it at first. You'll have a lot more fun with it.
Yeah.
So keep it simple.
Yeah.
So
And be right. And look, I think Andy's the one, or maybe it was Ralph who said it. You build a chainsaw one, and what that is build something with the intention that you know that in 6 months or a year you're going to salvage what you can off of it and chainsaw the rest of it and start over with a bigger, newer one, because you're going to learn so much in that first 6 months to a year that's ridiculous.
And with buying a model, don't go cheap because you'll get frustrated because the models won't work as well, and you don't want to get out of the hobby right away just because something you bought is the cheaper version and it doesn't work right, it doesn't run right. Save your money. You're gonna get a locomotive. Get one of them that's very nice, well made. Get something with DCC and sound. Get into it right away because everything is DCC nowadays. Just about everything. Get something with sound as well. That's what you can have the full effect when you're starting out. Okay, and then from there, we were talking earlier about Nathan and I were talking about eBay. There's a lot of deals on eBay for rolling stock. I would go to the manufacturers or to a hobby store buying a locomotive. Don't go on eBay until you know what you're doing. But specifically when it comes to rolling stock, there's a lot of Facebook selling groups. Don't start off with a train set, maybe 5 to 10 cars, and then just work from there and build up from there. I started with 8. I was an O scale for a little bit, and I started with HO about 3 years ago, and I only had 10 pieces of rolling stock and one locomotive that was DCC. Now I have about 15 locomotives DCC and over 100 pieces of rolling stock. But the thing is, I buy and sell different stuff, but at the same time, a lot of it is deals on eBay and bundle packs. So it wasn't like I was spending hundreds of dollars on stuff. If you want to buy something that's ready to roll, which is stuff the manufacturer brings out that's already built well, it's running already, great. Start off with all that stuff first and foremost. Once you get more experience, you want to upgrade, or if you buy something that is in a lower brand and you want to build it, so rebuild it, that's into a spot where you can upgrade the cars to plastic to metal wheels and couplers and all that, then work on that. And like Chris was saying with Ralph, a chainsaw layout, buy good track, make sure you know how to wire. Start with a loop, then you want to add switches, start adding switches. You want to add a siding, and then from there they're gonna be like just all over the place because you're gonna be so excited that all the stuff you're learning, you're gonna want to broaden your horizon into scenery work, to weathering, to painting, to everything, and it will take time. The goal is if you don't start small, you'll get frustrated and you want to kick yourself and you're out of it. You don't want to deal with the hobby anymore. We've all been there, and if you do it the way that what Chris was saying, Ralph is saying, you start small and build your way up. You can even expand that 4x8 table to something that's even bigger and better. There's a lot of model railroaders, model railroader magazine. David Pop, he started with just a 4x8 piece of plywood, and he built and expanded his layout over time. And actually a nice video on his layout. He explained he started very small. He learned everything he wanted to do on that layout, and then expanded to build another 4x8 and another 4x8 to something. He has a huge layout now, but he started in sections, you
Yeah,
know. And
is either that or learn real quick about building a sectional layout, and then you
right,
build one at a time, and then what you'll find in a year is that each section that you build gets better and better, and then you'll end up replacing that first section because it's not going to be up to the quality of the rest of them.
right.
Yeah.
I, and for
You know.
example, I have a weathering business, which is making your stuff look dirty like the prototype. And I, perfect example with this. I redid this boxcar from 3 years ago, and it's still got more work to do on it. But with my experience in 2 years of weathering trains for clients all over the country, and then working on my stuff, I opened up my box. I looked at a bunch of my cars and go, oh, that could definitely use a redo, and so you're going to go through that with your modeling when it comes to wiring, track work, your ballasting, your scenery work, everything you can think of. And plus I encourage you to go out into the real world, rail fan, film train, take pictures of trains, because you're going to want to see how they work. And eventually you may want to learn how to do operations, which is running trains like a real railroad. And that becomes like a little bit of a challenge, a game, but it's a lot of fun. And from there, you're connecting with guys like us through the social media, individually, in person. And then you got a big family all over the country. And like Marty, who's on right here, he's from Australia, but he's one of our best friends. So you got people all over the country.
Yep.
It's a whole different world being a model railroader than any other hobby ever. I
Fine
said,
show, train shows and all that too.
yeah, train shows. That's right.
You'll
Train
meet
club.
people. Yeah, you'll meet people that have the interest in trains and all that. They'll even help you sometimes. You got
Yeah.
to watch it sometimes too. Some of these shows.
The other thing too is that in a year from now, you'll also have, besides having a whole new skill set, you don't have the tools. I mean, literally, I mean, if you're really new into the hobby, okay, this is my paint area. All right. That over there is my build area. You know, you just don't have all of that in the very beginning. And if you
No, you
try
don't.
to, I tell you what, you have your daddy war books if you do.
Yeah.
You know.
I'm I'm 30 years old. I started model railroading 25 years ago, and in 25 years, I've learned so much, and it's just
Mhm.
and I learned more in the past 3 years than I did the entire 25 years in the hobby.
Yeah. And the other thing too is if you really get into model railroading and you really want to make it look good, then all of a sudden that you find yourself looking up about geology, or what's the tree thing, or arborist. You know, you learn about trees, so your trees look right. You learn about rocks, so your rocks look right. You learn about, the trains themselves. You learn about civil engineering. You learn about bridge building. You
Yep.
learn about so many different things that you never thought, that you would really go into.
Yep.
So it's an adventure by itself if you let it,
Yeah. And
and if you can get your family involved in it, that's even fun too.
that's the biggest thing for me. To get the family involved, because
Yeah, you
yeah,
can make a straight line little switching layout. I mean, build if before that even build a 2 foot by 3 foot diorama. Take one piece of track,
yeah,
lay it in the middle, and build on either side of it. I mean, if this is something that you've never done ever, then before you invest a whole lot of money into it, go buy a diorama kit from Hobby Lobby, you know, with a lot of the stuff already all included in it for you, and see if you even enjoy the. My camera ain't gonna stay for some reason.
Looks like
It's a
you're falling
fight.
asleep.
you know are you going to enjoy taking a model like this and then going and finding all of the little cracks to fill it with putty, to file it with a nail file, to airbrush it, to paint it, to weather it, to make it look old? you know if that's for you, then this is your hobby.
Right. You become an artist, an engineer, electrician, a
Yeah.
janitor,
I mean, I have a
maintenance
little
worker.
bit. Yeah, I have a little bit of art skill, and not a, I was a automotive painter for years, and I've done this, but I never was an acrylic painter, and I have to say, for my first acrylic painting, I'm very happy with it, you
Yeah.
know, and I learned a whole lot from it. Oh, there we go. Sorry, but I mean, it goes all the way across, and there's some spots that are still somewhat unfinished, you know, and they'll get changed along the way. But that was a fun month of learning. I mean, this one spot right here probably got repainted 7 times, but that was the enjoyment of it. It was learning. Me and Bob Ross became really close friends that month.
Mhm. Oh yeah.
Yeah,
And you have so much information out there on the web. It's unbelievable between YouTube and Instagram,
that's it.
Facebook. That's all you need. I mean, you have Model Railroad Hobbyist, which I love Model Railroad Hobbyist. You have
You know,
Model Railroad,
every,
you have Model Railroad Craftsman. All these
and
magazines, either
and
electronic
every
or physical.
right, that's it. We're
Yeah,
on every night. We're
we're here all the time.
somebody's usually on all the time. One person is, you know.
I'll be on later, most likely.
Yeah.
So if you have
So
any more questions, wants to chat with us, yeah, more than welcome
yeah,
to.
come on. That's it. And believe you me, we love to talk about our hobby.
Oh yeah,
We
and
will share it with you.
you talk about size, the ideal space. Um, depends on the space you have, but I like 4x8. I will prefer 5x9, 1 foot a little further. So because you want the widest
Yeah,
curve possible, like maybe 24-inch curves. If you buy 6-axle locomotives, that's a lot of people buy modern day starting out in the hobby. That's something you want to go for curvature, and then you can always do 30-inch once you have experience of flex track and cutting track and we call soldering and stuff like that. Um, and the reason why I say 5x9 is you have it. If this is your 5x9 table, you could have a divider in the center, and you have 2 cities on each end. So now you could have your modeling skills go for this section could be maybe more rural town looking. So you can have all different kits and building kits right here, and then your triangles around here, and on this side to block this other side here, you have a tunnel. So now you're not learning how to build tunnel and scenery work. And now your train goes on the other side. Maybe there's another tunnel on this side to block the 2 scenes. So now your layout looks 10 times bigger because you have a divider in the middle, separate the whole layout.
that's it.
Um,
And then if you want to make it twice that size, you build interiors for all the buildings.
right.
Oh, thank you, sir.
Yes.
Much obliged.
He's
Yeah.
generous.
Yeah, we love to hear ourselves talk, so I'm glad you let us do that.
I'm Italian. I talk way too much as it is.
It's like it's costing Johnny.
I know he pays by the minute, or actually,
If I pay by the minute, I'll be very, very rich. I'll pay by each word I say.
that's it.
Oh,
All right.
so I'll bring the 6-pack.
All right, I think that's all the cracks. Well, at least I got something done this hour too. That's it. Now we are crackless, and we didn't even have to break out the big stuff.
Now, as Stu Structure said, there are a lot of ways to make a small layout look bigger. Oh yeah, because you can learn field of depth and force perspective.
Yep.
And there's so many techniques on how to do that. My girlfriend and I were talking about this layout. It's gonna be a shelf layout like 11 by 9, but she has an eye for this stuff because she's a great photographer. Oh man, that's gorgeous.
Do you
Looks
see
like
the
a
face in it? That's molded. That's molded into the house.
Wow,
I thought that was great.
that's cool. And I was telling my girlfriend because she has an eye for this stuff. She's great at designing, and her being an artist and photographer herself, she's really good with this. And I asked her, "You got to help me with force perspective and field of depth to make the layout look bigger than it is." And there's all ways to do it. And there's so many videos on YouTube to check out on how to do that. And look up layout tours, people operating sessions, because trust me, once you get into it, you're gonna want to learn how to switch cars in the yard or take cars out of an industry and shuffle cars around and move stuff. It's endless.
Right.
You could spend 3 hours just moving cars from one section of the layout to the other. So and it doesn't have to be a huge layout. It could be a 4x8 sheet of plywood. You can spend 3 hours operating your layout.
That's it. Well, Johnny, you have a good night, and the rest of the gentlemen on the board, you have a good night, and everybody else out there in YouTube land. So.
Yeah, you too, Chris. Appreciate you coming
Hey,
in.
Chris.
Yeah, Chris.
We'll see you all on another night.
All righty. Have a good one.
Good night.
All right, well, I'll tell you what, I'm going to go ahead and take it now. And all the new guys that were popping in here at the end, I know one's over in China, I think it was, Mike, I mean. For everybody else, our shows start at 9 o'clock Eastern time here in the U.S. So, Steve, I don't know if you knew, we changed the time on a Thursday night from 10. We backed it up to 9 o'clock. So, shows are, now all the shows are at 9 o'clock Eastern time. And, but let's see, like I said, I was looking at the calendar just before the show, and yeah, we're not. We got a regular schedule going starting in the year, but we do have these shows coming out. But so far, for the next 2 weeks, we only have the Thursday night show scheduled, unless something pops up, and I'll throw it in the schedule for everybody. We got the January the 14th is going to be the Bill show. That's with Andy, Lloyd, Ralph, Miles, whoever else Andy wants to scare up, bring in. So, yeah, Stu. But, yeah, next 2 weeks, I guess, is just going to be the Thursday night show. So, anybody got any pictures or anything they want to show off, bring and brag? Bring it on in here. Let's show it off. Got any topics? Let me know. We'll certainly talk about them. Andy's out of town right now. That's the reason why he hasn't been in past 2 weeks. He'll be coming back probably sometime this weekend, or maybe right after the first of the year. I'm not exactly sure. But Yeah, Stu said he'd be home next week. You might try and get in on the paddle. That'll be good. Michael. Hey, how you doing? We'll see you next week. But y'all have a good weekend. Happy New Year, because won't see anybody till next year anyway. So you're going to have to wait a whole year now.
Hey, it was a good watch show.
But anyone who wants to, we do have our nightly chats. That is whereby.com/model railroading live, all one word. I think people usually kind of start jumping in around about 9 o'clock Eastern time. But if you got questions you want to get answered, there's a bunch of people in there. You'll probably find an answer somewhere. So that's what we try to do, is provide people with real-time answers for questions, or real-time chat anyway. So like I said, y'all have a good weekend, and we shall see y'all next year. Have a good one.